I think we should be live now. Just verifying that the stream is actually set up correctly. Yeah, seems to be working. Okay, good. All right. Closing Twitter. Closing all sorts of things. Yep. Okay. All right. Screen? Face? Just face? All right. Hi everyone. So okay, it's working. So today, I want to go over some stuff with Tide. So I've got a talk with a deadline on Monday, and I need to write a demo. And I was like, well, kind of want to have something interesting. And I was asking around on Twitter, and Lewis Pilfold, I'm not sure if I pronounced the name right, suggested we do some HTTP authentication stuff. Now, doing the whole form builder thing is maybe not ideal, so I figured maybe we can do basic auth. And I actually wrote some basic auth stuff a couple days ago, so we can integrate that into Tide and like maybe write a small demo with that. I figured it could be fun. Also, a few like smaller doc updates that I want to do with Tide, so it'll just be like a general Tide stream, but then hopefully we can get stuff going. Ooh, Julian in chat. Hey, how's it going? Glad you're here. What are you up to these days? Cool. All right, wait. Let me share my screen. There's nothing here yet. Poof. Okay. So I got this tiny little Stream Deck thingy that like I haven't used much. So it's interesting. Oh, Julian, been doing P2P Electron work. Amazing. So thanks for the follow. Time to get my Rust fix. Nice. I get that. Yeah. All right. Oh yeah. I've been checking out Rails a bunch. It's like super interesting. I know. I've like never done Rails really. Like I did it once for like a month years ago before I probably understood like web dev and like was doing things. So yeah, it's been really interesting to like learn more and see all the things that exist inside of the Rails ecosystem. I know. But yeah, get a bath. All right. So for those of you who don't know, Tide is a server framework in Rust. Oh, thanks for a sub. Yay. So Tide's a server framework in Rust. It's like a micro framework, but we try and like provide all sorts of conveniences. And powering it is there's several things underneath, but probably the most interesting one for right now is this crate called HTTP types, which provides typed constructors for all sorts of HTTP things. Yay, I think someone else just also subbed. Thank you. Yeah, so it provides all sorts of stuff. Most recently, we've been adding conditional support so that if match header things, we can deserialize and serialize from existing HTTP headers to and from, and then like validate that something's like valid. Do we have it here? No, we don't. But yeah, so we're building out this like whole realm of typed HTTP things, and then on top of that, we're building Tide, which is a framework which has a notion of middleware, which has a notion of several things. So when we say like let's add HTTP auth today, I mean let's add it to HTTP types and then use it through Tide, which exposes HTTP types through here as Tide HTTP, and write a small demo or something. I don't know. By the way, can everyone hear me okay? Is the video okay? Sound quality okay? Let me know if anything's like missing or something's not readable, and I'll fix it up. I know I'm like on a really big screen, so when I'm looking at stuff, it's like really nice. But then, you know, if you're watching on a phone or something, it might not be the best. So yeah, like just let me know. So, oh, did the stream just drop? Oh, it says we're live. Oh, I'm just lagging on my laptop. Yeah. Anyway. Cool. Is this it? This is it. Great. All right. So I wrote this thing called GitHub_auth, not like actually quite a while ago, which is a copy of a Node.js module called GitHub Auth, which allows you to authenticate with GitHub, like from the command line. It's useful for convenient small little tools. And I recently updated it to use Surf, and that meant changing a whole bunch of stuff. But interestingly, I had to rewrite the little authentication module, which does basic auth. So let's create a version of this for HTTP types. So on the right hand side, we open this up. On the left hand side, whoops, we open up HTTP types. Yay. Oh, yeah, let me turn off the RSI thing. I always have it on because my wrists aren't super. All right. This may not be the most readable. Let's close this down. Let's close that down. Let's have this open. Something like that. Oof. Okay. You can see precision mouse work going on. All right. Yes. So let's make sure that we're on the right branch. I've been using all these visual tools recently. It's like really nice. Just clicking around, being happy about it. Let's create a new little branch. Let's call it basic auth Simon Briggs. Hey, thanks for a compliment. Appreciate it. I really like my setup as well. Yep. So we already have it open. Cool. Then here in the module hierarchy. Oh, something I forgot to say is that we actually have a little structure to our madness. GitHub. Actually, headers. HTTP headers. So instead of HTTP types, what we're doing is we have a hierarchy. Maybe here it's better to show. Yeah, here. So you see all these submodules. You can click into it and you see like conditional. It has like all these headers in there. Or like if we go to upgrade, yeah, actually that's a bad one. What's a good one? Security? No, that's a bad one as well. We've been doing some work. Cache, sure, right? Like age, cache control expires. Like all these things, they match cache control, cache control, cache dash control. There we go. Caching. Right. So there's a mapping from like damn. So like this maps to like what MDN defines as like cache headers over here. Same with like client hints we want to add at some point. We have like conditionals. We have all of these recently implemented. So, you know, we try and create some sort of parity between like what MDN does and what we do. Yeah. So in this case, we want to do basic auth. What's the header name? User agent here, encoder, auth value, be basic. And then how does this work? Auth value, and then header, authorization. Okay. Authorization. Come on. Authentication. All right. So we want to have some sort of submodule called auth, maybe authentication, and then under it add an authorization header. And this contains a version which says, here's basic auth, right? That's a base 64 encoded string right there. Yeah, this works with like all sorts of things. So probably step one is create like the submodule over here. Let me up the font size slightly. Font size slightly. All right. So we add a new submodule called auth. Inside of it, we add a new file called mod.rs. And then we add another file inside of that called authorization.rs. Ooh. Okay, I messed that up. Let's try again. All right, new file or new directory called auth inside of it a new file called modRS, and then authorization.rs. There we go. All right, so we're gonna add this here to pub mod auth. Then here is mod authorization. And here is our struct, which we're going to call authorization. Cool. And this is the basic structure. So if we open up Cargo Doc, I can show you like what we just did. So now we have a submodule called auth. Pub use authorization, there we go. Cargo doc. Build. Thanks for the sub. I think that was a sub. Either sub or subscribe. Oh, Simon Brick says internet isn't too. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, your internet isn't good enough. It's always rough. Like streaming is pretty intense, yeah. So yeah, we have a little struct called authorization right here and all this other stuff here. Ooh, I'm having trouble seeing like who's doing what, but thank you. Falia is now following. Thanks. I probably mispronounced that or butchered that. I'm sorry. All right. So missing documentation and debug. So we're gonna just add some quick docs because we know what we're doing, so we can like usually almost entirely lift the thing from MDN. HTTP authorization request header contains the credentials to authenticate a user agent with a server. Credentials to authenticate a user agent with a server. And then there was a catch, but not necessarily. Okay, that's a bit of a downer. After server has responded with 401 unauthorized status and the www authenticate header. So what does this do? Defines the authentication method that should be used to gain access to the resource. Wow. Okay, so that's a lot of stuff. So I'm guessing you can ask. All right, so if someone has a 401 unauthorized response, then you send this back and you say like, this is how you should authenticate. A common type is basic. So here's a list of schemes that can be used. Basic, bearer, digest, Holba, mutual, negotiate, OAuth, ScramSha1, ScramSha256, and Vapid. So HTTP apparently has a thing called Authentication Scheme, right? So we need to add that as well. Authentication scheme.rs mod authentication scheme. We're gonna add like the full authorization header or authentication header. What's it called? Authenticate header. Authorization header. Damn. And so we want to make sure that we cover like the full range of stuff that is required here. What do people think we should call this? Auth scheme or authentication scheme? I guess authorization and authentication are different things than auth and auth z respectively. Yeah, I think we should just like call it authentication scheme, spell it out, doesn't matter. Cool. So that's an enum. Authentication scheme, derive, debug, non-exhaustive. It's because schemes can be added by the IANA org people. Also, it's not HTTPS. So there's basic, bearer, digest. Can we copy this in a nice way? Don't want to type it out. Like that. Like that. Yeah, we're just adding all of these. Oh. Okay. So we need to add this here. All right. Okay, so because this is not valid, it's not formatting. Now it should format. There we go. So cargo fix, does that fix it? Doesn't. Allow dirty. Does this reformat it? Let's see. No, it doesn't. All right, that's unfortunate. All right, so we need to scram show on. Just want to have this vapid uppercase. Scram SHA 1. Scram SHA 256. Cool. And now all of these need docs. Pub create. Oh, that should be pub create. That should be pub. Pub use authentication scheme. Authentication scheme. There we go. Yeah. So in case people are wondering what we just did here is we want to create the authorization header, which needs to have a type and the credentials. And the type is a type from this list, and we can enumerate that. So we just copied it over and put it in enum. And, you know, this should be serializable and deserializable. And, you know, given that www authenticate header also uses the type, it needs to be a separate entity. So we gave it a name. So if we do a quick little thing here, then you'll be able to see that we now have an authorization struct, an authentication scheme, which has all these various types. And we can see that it's non-exhaustive, right? It marks it there. Oh yeah, big bold letters here. So we can extend this without breaking Semver, which is nice. Yay. All right. Thanks for the follow. Cool. And now we need to give this a name. So this says Authentication Scheme Registry, HTTP Mutual Authentication Algorithms. So that seems like a fine enough descriptor. So let's add that here. Oh, and we need to make this partial eq or, yeah, partial eq, partial ord. No, actually just eq debug. And then we need to be able to construct this from a string, and we need to be able to construct this to a string. So the way we do the serialization of this thing for authentication scheme, import display, instead format display, yep. Implement missing members. Then we do this, like that. Yeah, okay. So I just imported display, which allows us to serialize this thing into a string, where we do match self. Oh, match self. So match arms. Here we go. And then we give it a name. So that becomes basic. Does that become basic? Hold on. So we have this thing here. So it's uppercase basic. So I'm assuming it's uppercase, whatever is in this list. So it's just as is. So that becomes basic. Let's just copy and paste this. Oh. Can I do that? No, I can't. All right. Bearer. Digest. This is the boring part. Right, F, comma. Hoba. What's Hoba authentication? Hey, Rihanna. It is stream time. Yay. F mutual. Right. Negotiate. So much of like writing HTTP things is just like going over the spec and like implementing what it says we should be doing. Oh, auth. Right. I'm surprised there's like no OAuth 2 in there. This is scram all uppercase SHA-1. That's SHA-1. Right. Scram dash scram dash SHA dash 256. And then the last one is vapid. That should do it. All right. HTTP over whatever authentication. Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, let's lowercase that. Sure. Basic auth. Bearer auth. Digest auth. Hoba. Mutual. Negotiate. Negotiate auth. Oh, auth, it's in the name. SHA-1 auth. SHA-256. Vapid. Okay, there we go. Missing documentation. We're missing documentation for the auth submodule. Hey, Skip Note, welcome. And we can copy, we can lift that from here, I guess. HTTP authentication headers. Oh, this needs to be the top level document. Authentication headers, something like that. What do we call the submodule again? It is called authentication and authorization headers. Authorization headers. I think that's more descriptive. This is authorize, this is authenticate. You know, both are part of this thing. That's why we call it auth. It's slightly better than what MDN does. Cool. Cargo doc. Oh, Rihanna's doing async stuff in Java. RIP. Good luck. Like, yeah, that's rough. I was looking at async Scala recently, trying to like learn some of the things they do. It didn't look too bad, but yeah. I hear your plight. That's rough. All right, so we have the base set up for auth, HTTP authentication authorization headers. We can probably drop the headers part. It's not just headers. And then we have an authorization struct, credentials to authenticate a user agent with a server. And then we have authentication scheme, which has, you know, all these things, which is good. It has debug, it has display, it has equals, partial equal, structural equal, structural partial equal. These are all like unstable things, I believe. Lightly. There we go. Yeah. Ooh, interesting. Rihanna saying there's a completable future in Java 8, I think, which is like a JS promise. It's not supported on the Android version at Target. Oh my god. Yeah. I'm sympathetic. Also, hey, Jakub. Ah, oh, damn. I know everyone mispronounces your name. I'm sorry. But hey, nice to see you here. Cool. Oof. Feeling my wrist a little bit. All right. So we have authorization here. Oh, we're not done with authentication scheme. So because we have display, we can call into-ser on it. Or part, yeah, can we call parse it? No. So we can convert it into a string. We can't convert it into like from a string yet. So we need to do it. Oh, cool. I said right. Right. Oh wait, the camera's there. I'm reading chat here, but the camera's there. So right. Yeah, cool. All right. Hopefully I didn't butcher it too bad. Well, you just said it. Anyway. I remember the Twitter thread where it was like the way people mispronounce names, and I felt that. I think you mentioned something in that as well. Anyway, so authentication scheme, we need to implement from stir for authentication scheme. So we import this. And then we say here, implement missing members, type error equals create error, right? And then we do a conversion here where we say match S. And then we should get all these things. I don't want to. All right, let's try this. Oh. VF comma X. VF comma X. I'm doing the git thing. Oh, git. Or vim. Sorry, that's not git. Oh. And then I can do this. Oh, wait, hold on. Yay. Yay. Okay, I just replaced that, and now we can get a good match here. Scram SHA want. Did I get that correctly? Scram dash SHA. That this really bothers me. It really stands out. Ooh, the Java conversation continues. I wish the to and from strings were easier in Rust. Maybe one day it will be a reflection. So it's not C++. So I don't think it's like too bad, like the to and from string stuff. Like with IDE, I think like IDE support is what will make this the best. Like imagine if it would like recognize somehow, like pre-filled it, like did this and was like, well, we're going to pre-fill this and just say that it looks like this, you know? And all you need to do is a little bit of changing, and like the inverse as well. If you have like a display impl, you can probably infer that's the inverse, you know? So we take the string that we're writing, and if we see that string, then we can generate the type from that by flipping it. I think a smart enough IDE will make generating these kinds of things easy enough. It's like a bit of a pain to write by hand, but it's like not the worst. I'm not sure if like any language feature could truly really help here. Yeah. It's like one of the things that, hold on, I want to show you something. We're going all the way off course here. Rust Analyzer. I opened up issues in Rust Analyzer for like, let's make this thing closer to Java. 10 days ago. No, it was longer than that. Yeah. So VS Code and like Java support for VS Code is like really nice, where you can like click a thing and be like, please generate like equality for like all of these fields. So the subfields of a struct can have like structural equality with like the actual struct. So you have a struct person which implements address, then you can implement an equality implementation between person and address, like just generate it. It's really, really nice. Just like generate delegation methods. What if you want to like bubble up like a method that's on a field inside of the struct? So again, person with an address. What if address had a zip code method or, you know, some other method? then being able to like implement it as like an actual implementation on the top level struct is all completely mechanical, you know. And there's a few things like these that if they were implemented, it would be like really nice. Same with getters, setters, you know. You want to update, modify anything like a field inside of a thing, like the IDE should be able to generate it, which is nicer than personally I prefer it over like the get and set methods, because those are very restrictive and sometimes you need slightly like a different thing. But yeah. I think we can replace this with self. Yeah, then we can do that. Self-bearer. Does that work? Does not work. Self-bearer works. That's self-basic. Self-bearer. Rihanna says, I feel like that stuff is patching over a big hole in the language in Java. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm like somewhat sympathetic to the idea of like having quote unquote simple language. More than I was before, really. And then like let code generation fill in the gaps. As long as it's like not too terrible to write, then, you know, keep tweaking, keep modifying like the user experience for it. But some very complicated features like proper delegation, it's so complex and people want to use it in so many different ways that any feature you design is likely going to be incomplete. And, you know, so I know it's a tricky one. Self-mutual. I really dislike there's no code completion for this. Negotiate. Okay, self. Auth. SHA-256. Oh, that's one. SHA-1. Self. Scram. SHA-2. SHA-256. I'm sorry, it is kind of boring. Fields. De La Guila Luis says there's a good case for multi-cursors in VS Code, and I agree. I just haven't installed it. All right, does this work? No variant named Auth. That's right. Because it's this. And then we need to handle the error case, which is this, and then we say bill. Usted. And then we want to use create bill. It's not a valid recognized authentication scheme. And then we pass S here. There we go. Did that web page list valid with a lowercase v? I don't think so. Ooh, hey, fantastic catch. Yes, yes it did. Thank you. Because I did mess that up. Right? Good eye, Rihanna, thank you. Yes, it very much did lowercase. Right? This is why you want to have like structs, like enums that you define exactly once and then never write this stuff by hand. I really like this part about like Rust, where, you know, we take our time to like get this right once and then we encode it and never need to bother with make typos, that kind of stuff. Yeah, this is great. Thank you. Cool. So now we have equality between various encoding schemes. Control D for next occurs and Control Shift left. Control D? Whoa, okay. Slash right. Okay, this doesn't seem to be working for me the way I would expect it to. Yeah. I'm trying multi-cursor here and it doesn't seem to work the way I want it to. All right, cool. So now we have this. Actually, let's create a little committeroo for this where we just wrote actually quite a bit of code. Init authentication submodule and authentication scheme. Authentication scheme, yep. Cool. So that works. Publish branch. Sure. Let's do that. All right, now we have all these things. Now we can proceed to get the, actually, I kind of want my work rave on. My wrist is hurting a little bit. Work rave, there we go. So this reminds me to take breaks between like typing. It forces me to take a sec. So you'll be hearing a little buzz every now and then, and that's just this, and that's just me trying to take care of my wrists. Sorry, y'all. Cool. Oh, actually, yeah, upping the font size slightly. Cool. So next up, authorization. So authorization is a tuple of a scheme. Use create auth authentication scheme, and the other one that it has is credentials, and credentials is just a string. Credentials string. Right. So when we see authorization here, we understand that, you know, the authorization header has a name, and we break it down to type and its credentials. Interesting. So authentication for AWS servers. Oh, how does that work? Authenticating with an AWS server. Oh, authorization. It doesn't even like have a scheme. The algorithm used to get the, oh, interesting. So the scheme is optional, I guess. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay. Authentication type. Or maybe that's not the scheme. No. Credential. So it seems the credentials themselves may be optional. Or is this just a single authorization header? Yeah, it is. And then just, oh my God. That's interesting. So basically the way this works is, yeah. Actually, let's copy this over. Let's see how it is. Pops out. Okay, so it is put over new lines, but the way we need to interpret it is like that. If we put this in a string, yeah. So AWS for HMAC SHA-256 credential equals that. So it's like keys and values. All right, that seems fairly standard. I don't know if we fully want to support that. Like, I'd like to know if others also use this. But, you know, it's not the worst. In any case, we now know that the way we should parse this probably is like get the first value, like up until there, and then treat the rest of it as like the actual credential. And like in the case of like AWS, you need to break that down and parse it yourself further, which I think is reasonable enough. Right. So like the important part here is that we like, there may be commas in the rest of the thing. There may be spaces in the rest of the thing. So the way we parse it from like left to right is like, get the first thing, then a space, and then just stringify the rest, and ta-da, there you go. That's your credential. Okay, that's good to know. Thanks, MDN. And I ignored my WarGrave warning, so I'm gonna take a sec. It's like, if this credential thing was like common enough, then maybe we could provide helpers for it, where we're like, oh yeah, we'll parse it for you if we see like a credential key and whatnot. But it doesn't seem to be part of the spec. Actually, let's check the spec. The authorization header field allows a user agent to authenticate itself with an origin server, usually but not necessarily, after receiving a 401 unauthorized request response. The value consists of credentials containing the authentication information of the user agent for a realm of the resource being requested. If a request is authenticated and a realm is specified, the same credentials are presumed to be valid for all other requests within this realm. So you authenticate once and then, it's valid forever, assuming that the authentication scheme itself does not require otherwise. So this is meaningless, such as credentials that vary according to a challenge value or synchronized clocks. So that just says like, this thing authenticates and we don't specify how. But maybe keep it alive, hopefully. Proxy forwarding a request must not modify any authorization fields in that request. For details of stuff. Okay. And then there's proxy authentication stuff. Does HTTP headers specify? Yep, right there. What's the scheme for this? Type, authentication type. A common type is basic. Okay. So I'm just curious, like, what is MDN basing like this thing on? 7617. What's this RFC? The basic HTTP authentication scheme. Internet standards. All right, so I'm guessing like they actually went out of their way to like fully specify the HTTP authentication scheme here. I should not have clicked that away. Oh, interesting. So basic has one, bearer, digest, HOBA, mutual, negotiate, Auth. Okay, all of these have actual RFCs for them, which we're just gonna click through for no particular reason. Basic, Auth, digest auth, HTTP origin bound authentication. And now we know. Let's update this thing. Mutual authentication protocol for HTTP. How do you pronounce this? Spinego based Kerberos and Jesus. Okay. Oh, Rihanna said something. I think there could be used for a type specifying parsing feature. Basic auth requires some unique parsing too. Yeah, fair. That is actually fair. But we can like maybe break that down further, where we say like, here's the authorization header, and then we implement methods where we say like, okay, now parse it as basic auth. Okay, now parse it as like this other thing. Or like we have a separate struct called basic auth, which wraps the authentication header somehow, If it's not basic auth, then it doesn't work. I don't know. I think we need to layer this slightly. Does that make sense? Boom, 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 boom. Ooh, I have messages. Yay. Cool. Sounds good. Great. See ya. Nice stream. See ya, Luis. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so let's be completely pedantic and RFC 7167 7 7617. Oh boy. Do we do it like this? Maybe. I don't think that's basic auth, comma. I think I like that scheme. Yeah, let's go with that. Bearer auth. There. Let me say HTTP digest auth. Oh, it's a copy paste thing. Sorry. Comma. We're gonna fill in the thingy afterwards. And finally, does that work? Just gonna go over it and paste it. Oh, ooh, okay, so that deletes something. Sorry for being boring. But I think it's like super important for this kind of thing to like reference all the RFCs. Because it allows people to double check, like, does this thing work the way it does? What does this thing say? What's the purpose of this? Oh, I missed that one as well. Oh. Great. Cool. Let's take a look at the docs. Carbodoc. Boom, 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 boom. Which we have open. Let's close all these things. It's way too much. Oh, bearer auth, we forgot a comma. Comma. Yep, good. Good. I like this somewhat. Actually, if the RFC name came first, that would probably be better. I'm sorry, everyone. Basic auth. Should check the way it looked. Bearer auth. I guess people are getting the true library writing experience right now. So what are people doing for the weekend? I mean, this might take a sec. Whew. Here in Germany, the corona measures got tightened slightly again, which is for the best. But yeah, I will be doing nothing this weekend. All right, let's take a look again. I need to finish up my talk. That's about it. See? Nicely aligned. I like this. Okay, that's good. Cool. Now that we have all of these things. Good. Cool. So do we write another commit? I would say so. Auth scheme RFC links. Jakob says, it seems from the spec that the auth scheme is case insensitive. You might want to update your from stir if you haven't already. Oh, damn. Is it? Do you have a link to that? Like, I'd like to verify. I want to double check that. Because it may be insensitive for some, but I'm not sure if it's insensitive for all. Case. Note that both scheme and parameter names are matched case insensitively. So this is 7617, which is basic auth. Section 1.2. Are we there? Yeah, section 1.2. Cool. Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh no. Basic. Match stir. Oh, damn. Yeah. 2617. Wait, hold on. Is that for all of them? I'm glad that there's like people paying attention here with me. 1.2 Access Authentication Framework. HME provide a simple yada 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 challenge. This says the realm directive case insensitive is required for all authentication schemes that issue a challenge. Oh, interesting. How does that work with Amazon though? Signed headers, signature. Yeah, this should all also be case insensitive, yet they uppercase this and that. Oh, I guess it's only the scheme. Yeah. So we just lowercase it. All right, so we only lowercase the scheme. S.2 lowercase and fixed. Oh, wait. Is that just always? Mismatch types. Expected stood stir. Found. To ASCII lowercase. Make ASCII lowercase? Is there one that doesn't allocate? Yeah, that's funny. All right. Wait, hold on. Stir. There we go. Yeah, okay, there we go. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, fab8 lowercase. Great. But then we can like still do this. Right. And I want to reference what you just shared. So let me copy that over from chat. There we go. Oh, Rihanna said something. Let me double check. If you want to not allocate, you need is equal kind of function. I forgot the name. There's a case insensitive one. You need a if else chain. Really? Lowercase. Let's just double check. There's like is lowercase. Make ASCII lowercase and mute self. Converts the string to its ASCII lowercase equivalent in place. Oh, make lowercase? Okay, we can only do it for like ASCII, which that is actually fine for header values because they can only be ASCII. So I actually love that suggestion because we then do this here and we say mute s. Is that true? ASCII lowercase. This may not work because we need mutable access. There we go. Yep, that is equal ignore ASCII case. Oh. Ignore ASCII. Oh. Stood ASCII. Wait. Oh yeah, it's been deprecated. Why has this been removed? That's so sad. Oh wait. Stir equal ignore ASCII. There we go. Varus equal ignore ASCII. Oh, no, but like this works. It just takes mu and self. Make ASCII. Yeah. Exactly. Oh man. Oh damn. Okay, that's interesting. So we can make this not allocate. We're like deep in the woods. Like this one allocation really doesn't matter. Checks the two strings are equal. Self as bytes equal ignore ASCII case utter dot as bytes. Right? That is interesting. Okay, so that just works for like that. Huh. Do I want to do that? No. This allocates. That is fine. Yeah, we need a big if else chain, and I just don't want to bother. Like, I'd rather have like this code over just that one thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're not gonna fiddle with that. That's fine. I just want to make sure that we have paragraph 1 to 2 quoted here. Notes. Yosh. Matching here is lowercase specified by RC 2617 17 comma 1.2. Section dash 1.2. Insensitive. Where was the quote? Give me paragraph 1.2. I'm just gonna put that there. Oh, we have a cat. Hey cat. Do you want to say hi to stream? Oh, she wants attention. Yeah, Mao. Hello. Say hi to 16 people. You're a very popular cat. That was naughty. I think she wants something. She may want food, which means I'm on a limited clock to continue streaming because at some point she'll eat me alive. Naughty sweetheart, what's up? What do you want? Oh, you want playtime? Do you want food? Sorry, parenting. My partner is not at home right now, so I'm single parent. Yeah. Hello. Okay, she wants attention for sure. She's eyeing jumping on top of the cupboard, which may not go well. Oh boy. All right. Louis asks, what's that break program? Oh, hold on. She's not going to make the jump. Okay, good. So the break program is Wargrave. It's for Windows and Linux. It allows you to schedule breaks for RSI, which I sometimes have a bit of trouble with. If I don't use Wargrave, I can, like, my wrist can get like really sensitive. So I use it and I don't have any trouble. Oh god, this cat. No idea. What are you doing, sweetheart? Okay, she's gonna make a big jump, or not? I don't. Oh, that's not gonna end well. Hold on, I need to interfere. Do you wanna jump up? gonna get you on top of there. And I hope you enjoy that. Okay, so we have a cat in the box on top of the shelf on the right hand side. That's really cute, and she's enjoying it. Okay. Sorry about the interruption. Cool. Simple challenge. Cool. Oh, hey, Honest. Yes, you tuned in at the right time. All right, great. Cool, that's solved. I think Nori just really wants attention. Yeah, I may need to stop streaming in not too long. I wish I could point my camera. Can I point my camera at it? All right, who wants a naughty show? Up. So what's going on is, hold on. Oh, putting the light away. Oh no. Oh no, okay. There's a cat on top of there. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's hard to see. I don't want to unmount the whole thing. Yeah. She's looking at us. Oh yeah, now you can see. Yo, what's that? What's that? Yeah, it's a cat. All right, let's put the camera back, if I can. Something like that. All right. Let's double check. Things are okay. Okay, that's slightly off. You can see part of my background there. Up. I think that's reasonable. All right, gonna put my key light back. All right. Cat stream. Yay. Thanks, everyone. Cool. Where were we? We were doing something here. Let's do a quick commit in between because we just did stuff. Case insensitive schema parsing. Auth schema parsing. Go to basic auth. There we go. Cool. All right, let's get the authentication thing going. Yeah. All right. She's calmed down. She's like chilling in her box now. That's good. Yay! People like the cat. I like cat too. She's very chill right now. She was losing her mind, but then things got very interesting for a sec, so that's good. Yay. Okay, authorization. Oh yeah, push to commits. Then we have so many things open right now. Dub authenticate. Oh no, that's actually the one that's not the one we wanted. This is the one we wanted. Cool. So basic auth becomes see also HTTP authentication for examples on how to configure Apache or Nginx servers to password protect your site. All right, so if we look at the way GitHub Auth works, just open it here, and then I think auth response. No, authenticator. Yeah, I think the code's in here. The basic. Here we go. So then the way this works is if we want to write a basic auth thing, then we can do this little thingy over here. All right. What should we turn this API into, right? So for now, we want to support basic auth, but then like that's one of the more common ones. But then there's also like OAuth and like all these other things. Do we want to create like a separate struct for basic auth, or do we want to, you know, just not bother? I'm not too sure. Like, do we wrap it? Don't we wrap it? I want to hear like opinions on this actually, because I'm not sure. We can try something. Right. We can do the basic parsing like just for now. We'll have to copy like some other. So all of our headers in HTTP types, they follow a very like pretty much set pattern of how things work. For example, conditional. And then if we look at like if match, is there outline? Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Font is too big to like properly read it. But we have stuff like get the name of the thing, get the value of the thing, like apply this thing to other thing. So Rihanna says, my first thought would be an API like basic auth parse authorization credential. It's not super type safe. Yeah. So I don't think we want to go for maximum type safety with headers, but we want to have like a reasonable happy path, right? Like the Amazon thing, we're just like, here's a string and have a good time parsing it. Same like our headers insert method essentially takes 2 strings. They're just guaranteed to be ASCII, but I know there's something there. There's like a nice middle ground where it feels like nice and easy enough, but you prevent like 90% of the bugs. They're like due to typos and whatnot. So we definitely want to have, okay, so how about this? We definitely want to have like a new method. Then apply value, no push. Great. Okay. Impl authorization. All right, so wrap turn. So what we make this thing take here is a scheme of authentication scheme. And credential of type string. Self scheme credential. Right? Now this works. Authorization. Yeah, I'm still not too sure. Like, I just want to cover the basics just for right now. Import create headers. Authenticate. Is that the right name of this thing? Authorization. Use create headers. Authorization. Headers. Okay. Let's close this again. So, you know, here we say match headers, get ref, yada, 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 apply more stuff, authorization, header name. I'm just filling out the blanks. So the way headers work in HTTP types is we have a thing called a header name and a thing called a header value, and some types to convert things into other things. Because oftentimes like a single header may contain multiple values, or it's very like headers are wild. They like need to be ASCII strings. They need to oftentimes they can be uppercase, or they can be like match on any case. I don't know, but we try and like remove all of that and just be like, you want to have authorization from HTTP? Well, here you go, right? So in this case, we say the way you construct a new instance of authorization is you have a scheme and you have credential and you put it in there. And then I guess like basic auth could be a wrapper around this somehow. You can figure that out. And then from headers is you have an instance of headers, and then you parse it into an instance of this. And the way the parsing works is, I guess, like we said, so we need to parse first the header, like the authentication scheme, then the space, and then we fill in the rest into a single string. But we need to make sure that we, from the key value store of headers, that we get like the right header. I think we can safely assume that any given instance will only have a single one. So we just always choose the last. We've done that in a few places. Self header content type dot last. No. If unmodified. Yeah, last. We were given some kittens the other weekend. Flocon and sushi. Oh, amazing. A little late to catch you here. Yeah, you missed out. I'm sorry. All right. Something like this. Yep, we remove entries because we only have a single one. We already have this part. So let headers dot iter dot last dot unwrap. Cool. And header is of type header value. Great. They keep peeing in the yucca plant. Oh no. No, actually, like if cats pee in plants, it's really bad for plants because it too much ammonia makes the soil like go sour and then the plant dies. We've had a problem with that because we have like planters outside on the balcony, and the cats love to go in them, and then very sneakily every now and then they pee in it, and it's really bad. Yeah. Don't know how to prevent that. Like, I feel like when our cats were kittens, they would try and do that, and we'd like plant spray them to teach them not to do that, so they kind of stopped doing it. But yeah, you got to teach them not to do that for sure. Otherwise, all your plants will die. Also, make sure they don't eat plants because, a lot of plants are just like unsafe for cats. But kittens, you don't care. They just go. I don't know. It's something to be aware of. Right, so this is a header value. So now we have this value, and then we can do aster.split. Dot find. That index. I know it's likely a result or option that returns. Option usize. All right. So what we need to do is we then need to get the thing where we say, match some index none bill, split and two. Split and two? What does that do? Split and two. Oh, split and. Iterate over substrings. Separate by returning at most n items. You're fantastic. Thank you. That is exactly what we want. Split n. 2. There we go. Yeah. Perfect. Split n 2, and then actually we still need to match here. See, I thought I knew the standard lib pretty well, but not as well as Rihanna apparently. Yeah. Perfect. Some left what do we name this? We name this whoo, my brain is starting to get fried. Scheme, credential. What is split n to return split n, which implements iterator. All right, so if we have that, then we have definitely to c equals 1, c equals x, collect. Yeah. Okay. So it's iterator. So if that is none, then we bail, else we unwrap. Is that true? All right, so we just say scheme here, iter, and else there's none, bail. Could not parse authorization header, use creates, bail, something like that. Split into found struct option. Oh, it just returns split n. It doesn't return like oh boy. All right, so it actually directly returns the iter. Let iter equals yeah. Next. Is that how it works? Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean. This needs to be muted or oh my god. Let scheme iter.next. Credential iter.next. All right, there we go. And then we do match scheme credential. There we go. Let's go. Scheme credential. This needs to be some. That's good. There we go. Okay. So that's the left hand side. So if we have none, bill, could not find scheme. Some, none, credentials, Oh yeah, I think this works. And then scheme credential. What did I do? All right, close. Okay, what do we got? We have all sorts of errors. Mismatch type. What does this say? Let's up this. Expected tuple. Option answer. Found stud enum option. Empty. This pattern has 2 fields, but the corresponding tuple variant has 1 field. Expected 1 field, found 2. What? Oh, there we go. So like that. All right. Cool. That scheme equals. So now we parse the string that we have for scheme. Authentication scheme. Parse scheme. Is it? No, it's fromster. Or yeah. Scheme.parse. Like that. That should work. Oh, cool. All right, that worked. Cool. So now we invoke the parsing method on authentication scheme here, which will then parse it into a valid scheme or return an error. It's good. Oh, actually, we should change this though. Let error equals error.status .set status. Then we change from bill, we go to format error. So a problem that we have in our little error handling macros is that we can't give the status code on creation. So bill only works for 500s, but we want this to be a 400 or a 500. So we need to manually like wrap it, which is just, you know, kind of annoying. And we should like create internal macros just for that purpose. Because we know in the next breaking change, we just want to have that. So yeah. Boom. Error.set status equals 400. Or this code. 400. I think this should work. Yeah, okay, that worked. That did the trick. Then when we parse this, that will return an error. Cargo FMT. Oh, unclosed character. There we go. Okay, now it's formatted. Cool. All right, that works. Actually, we can like even do this. I don't know if that's better. Yeah, I guess fine. Boom. Cool. All right, so we now successfully have this. Get the header value. So, okay, we now have a method called new, authorization new. We can instantiate a new one. We can parse one from headers, which we're fairly certain will just work. We can apply. So, headers as mute dot insert self dot value. Okay, so we can't apply it yet, but we can get the header name, right? Actually, self.name. Ta-da. And now we just need to make sure that we can like create a header value so we can serialize it, right? Maybe we should like call it parse and serialize, deserialize and serialize. I am not too sure, but yeah, from headers seems fine. Dot value seems fine, I guess. Header value, yeah, I don't hate it. Anyway, we need to convert this into a valid header value. So that means essentially authentication scheme and string. Neither of them is optional. So all we need to do is output. We can just leave it like directly format. Like that space, and then we say self dot credential self dot no, yeah, that's credential. So self dot scheme self dot credential. Then we just do that, delete that, and then that works. Oh, I can't find header value. Create headers. Header value. Yay, that worked. Cool. Now we have the header correctly, like, you know, parsing to and from. I bet we could do like just a method for basic auth. It doesn't need to be its whole own thing. So I guess then parsing it becomes a bit more tedious because you want to get the right value. So maybe it actually does need to be its own thing. Yeah, we can check it out in a sec. Let's add some tests for this just to ensure that, you know, it's working correctly. I also need to run to a restroom in a sec. Use create bill. There we go. That's better. All right. I'm going to run to a restroom just for 1 sec, and I'm going to stream for another maybe 30 minutes. Don't go away. Yay. All right. Okay, I'm back. This should be working. Let me know if you can't see me and I've messed up, but yeah. Cool. So we have this working, hopefully. We're just gonna copy over the test from a different thing. Here, and we just have like one little smoke test, and then we move from there. Yep. So use super cargo publish. Yeah, there we go. This is called authorization. Authorization new. So schema. Schema equals authentication scheme. Basic scheme. and then we give it a token. Do I want to give it a different one? 0x dat beef 2121. Semi at the end. Headers new, auths, expires, token. Oh, that needs to be string. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Let's make that a string. Headers, and then here we say authorization from headers. Sure. Unwrap, and oh, we need to give it a method to get the scheme. Scheme and self. Oh, actually, the authentication scheme should be clone and copy. It's just like an enum. How many variants do we have? We have like 35. We have like 9 variants. So that fits inside of a U8. You know, like a U8 has like 128 numbers. There's just 9. So it's like 1 byte, which means creating a reference to it is more expensive than like just making a copy. So yeah, button scheme, authentication scheme, self dot scheme. Get the authentication scheme. Pub fun. What do we call that? Credential. Let's pluralize it. That should be credentials. Credentials. Come on. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, that works. Self dot credentials. Credentials is always plural, it feels like. Self dot credentials. Get the authentication authorization credentials. Go. And then we can do like a quick equality where we say assert equal. All right, we're gonna skip this one. Auths, credentials, or scheme. That break notification sounds so much like Discord. Didn't realize. Basic. Credentials. Let's rename this. Cool, that works. What do we call this? This is authorization. Actually, let's run the test here. Run test. Does this compile? Let's see. Let's see. Sorry, I get into a little bit of a droney feel when I write like stuff like that. Like after an hour and a half, my brain just goes like, okay, now we're doing this. Like very like literal. Oh damn. Failed to resolve if unmodified since. All right, so we can't compile. Let's comment it out. Let's try again. Let's see if this works. And it passed. Great. Our test works. Bad request on parse error. Authorization from headers, error status. Cool. Let's run this test. So it needs to return a 400 if it doesn't know how to parse it. And it doesn't. Great. Cool. Right. So we have some basic testing in place, which is great. We can probably copy this over if we want to. We should have a spec for this as well. Let's add that. Specifications, authorization. The specs for these are 7235. Yeah, this is the one. Boom, 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 boom. And then we say this RFC there. Boom. And that works. And then we copy over this example. Oh, did I mess that up? If I modified since, yeah, I did. All right, cool. The example over there. And then we copy over this code from here. Let's get rid of the indentation. Oh. And we need to add the imports, which I accidentally deleted. So no need for that. This becomes auth. Authorization, authentication scheme needs to be in the right alphabetical order for it to work. Oh. Did we accidentally? All right. Let's open up the docs. Let's see what it is. Authel, authn. Damn. So it's the other way around. There we go. Authentication scheme basic, credentials, authorization, new credentials into. All right. Let's run the doc tests. Ooh. No cargo format and doc strings. Yeah, I know. So sad. One day. Also wish this was like syntax highlighted. That'd be like really nice. That didn't work. Use HTTP type headers. Headers. Let's try again. Cargo t-doc auth. It's not working. Headers new, private. What? Oh, headers new. Whoops. All right, so we need request new. Or response new. There we go. Response new. We try yet again. Still failed. Headers. Oh, there we go. Res. One last time. And it worked. Great. Fantastic. So this all works. Let's take a quick little peek at docs because I'm actually kind of proud of that. So this is auth, authorization, just compiled. And now we have a beautiful little descriptor here with all the methods and the way they work. And then up here, like a specification. And it explains what this does, right? And we figured out that, you know, the scheme can be all lowercase, like all of these various things. We even like explain what this is. HOBA, HTTP origin bound authentication. Sure. You know. I don't know. Should this be all uppercase? What do people think? Origin bound authentication. Or should we rename it to origin bound? Probably HOBA is better. And probably all uppercase, right? Yeah, all right. HOBA. HOBA. And then finally, HOBA. Cool. Now we have all of authorization in there. Now we should add this to HTTP origin bound authentication. Okay, that works. That's the hardest question so far. Yeah, so we're doing E tag, like E, uppercase E, uppercase T ag. Same with like O, auth, right? Open authenticate, I believe. So in this case, because it's a full acronym, we just do the whole thing. At least it feels somewhat consistent. What about Scram and SHA? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, HOBA. We can also just call like origin bound, you know. I mean, I think that's valid. Probably. Just because someone turned into an acronym, that's the commonly understood thing, doesn't mean that renaming it. I kind of like origin bound. What is this? HTTP origin bound authentication, and then between things, HOBA, like that. People want to find it in docs. Go to doc. I think they should just be able to. HOBA. Yeah. HOBA. Oh no. Wait, hold on. Reload. Oh, it doesn't search the docs. Oh no. Authentication scheme. Anyway, if you look here and then you look for HOBA, that just comes out there. Yeah, I think this is fine. XML HTTP request approach. Scram SHA-1. Scram SHA-2. 256. What does Scram even stand for? Like, let's find out. Scram SHA-1. Salted challenge response. HTTP authentication mechanism. Salted challenge response. Interesting. That's really cool. I like salts. SHA-1. SHA? Is this one? SHA-256. No. Rust SHA-256. SHA-2, and people refer to it as SHA-256. Right. So underscore. People underscore it. Or like lowercase it. Even for acronyms. So Scram SHA-1, Scram SHA-256. Right. SHA-256. That's how it's canonically described by crypto people. I think it's fine. Oh my god, Rihanna is like solve the challenge response authentication mechanism. Oh, that's not. I love it though. Do we just rename this to Hoba or Origin Bound? Kind of prefer Origin Bound, but I guess Hoba is what's more commonly understood. Fine, Hoba, Origin Bound. Fine, Origin Bound. Hoba is best. Yeah, we can't uppercase it though. So it's either like Hoba or Origin Bound. Hoba's fine too. Yeah, I guess we shouldn't come up with like our own stuff. Fine. Bum 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 bum. All right. Anyway, we should commit this. Add authorization. Authorization header. Commit to basic auth. All right, and now we're at the challenge to get. So all of this was supposed to be like for my talk, right? So we just try out to be like, oh, let's do like a quick little login thing and let's build something with that. I think we should just keep that. I'll turn this into a talk demo somehow. So maybe I'll like keep hacking on it off stream like tomorrow, and then be like, look what I made. Here's some basic auth stuff. But yeah. Oh, Booba Cake's asking, back to Windows, and the answer is hell yeah. I really like Windows. With like the subsystem, it's really convenient because you can like just test Linux stuff, and I don't like need to bother with like configuring everything all the time. It's kind of nice. I want to make more time for cats and hobbies and relaxing. Speaking of cats, she's like still asleep up there in her little box. So my talk is, I have a deadline on Sunday. It's a week later. It's for Rust Lab. Rust Lab Italy. Rust Lab .it. Just one of the speakers there. I went there last year. It was like really nice, and the food is fantastic in Italy. But I won't be going in person. It's just like remote. So speakers, I'm on the list somewhere down here. Yay, that's me. Also the only one with a yes, you know me from Twitter. I'm the only person with like a Twitter handle in there. Oh, Ralph Levine is speaking. That's amazing. What's he speaking of? Front end? Oh, incremental computation. Cool. Oh, Keynote even. Amazing. And James speaking, and I don't immediately recognize anyone else. But yeah. Bom. I'm actually getting kind of hungry also. So yeah. I have another 10 minutes. Let's see if we can knock something out. If not, it's been a good run. 2 hours. Not too bad. Let's see. Auth mod. So we want to have basic auth, right? Maybe this just needs to be like, just a small function. Or not. I don't know. What do people think? Oh crap. My lamp just slid down. Remember how early in the stream we were like messing with the AV setup so we could take a look at a cat on top of his shelf? I didn't reattach everything properly, it seems. Just hoping my camera doesn't break. 1 sec. All right, that should all be secured. Whoa. Okay. Yeah. What should this be like? Let's take a quick look. You know, should this be like, so the way we use this other thing says, oh, not this thing, that thing here. All right, so we have, so let's try and edit this. Authorization new scheme credentials into. What if it was basic auth new? And then, you know, we just have like that. Maybe that's the way to go. Oh, thanks for tuning in, Jakob. See ya. Yeah, maybe. No. It's just like we take the thing, we wrap the other one, and then we just convert it into, and you know, it does the serialization and deserialization for you. It's just a specialized version of the other one for your convenience. Like, it does imply that at some point we'll be handling all of OAuth, which, I mean, I don't hate, but that's a big spec change. Oh, there'll be like someone else. Oh, amazing. Oh, Rihanna's doing like interesting one as well. Auth parse basic auth. Yeah, maybe. I mean, the problem with this though is that I think all of these may have like different. So if we take a look at all the kinds of things that we have, right? RFC negotiate, access authentication, right? Like, I bet there will be gotchas like somewhere, you know. Or if we try and make this generic, it won't like have a perfect little match. So we're kind of like stuck. Like the Amazon thing, right? Which was like, we exposed these 5 or 6 different things for Amazon authentication. But it's custom parsing, and if you want to have methods for this, then it truly should be its own struct. So I think we just need to wrap it. Like, we need to create a special struct, just like we'll likely need a special OAuth struct if we ever decide to create like a thing for this. Just check out the spec here. It's like wild, right? And like then from there, you know, I don't know. It's just a lot. But yeah, for basic auth, we can just like wrap it. Like I don't think we can do like specialized parsing for all of them. And then we will want to expose like all of the things. Yeah, this has a client, a server, protected resource owner, credentials. There may be all sorts of methods. Just taking a look. Like I want to take the like Rihanna's I want to take your proposal seriously. And I just want to like kind of capture why I think that won't work. Because config new, config add scope. Yeah. So here they're already like talking about like various scopes, adding a redirect URL, adding like a state of sorts, authorization URL, exchange code, right? So parsing OAuth, like the enum kind OAuth, would require also being able to parse all of these things, right? Being able to expose them. Otherwise, you know, and I don't think like just having Auth parse will quite do it. Oh, that's what you meant. Yeah. Actually, it might be though. I'm not too sure. But like, a little bit like hesitant. Yeah, so if we have basic auth like from string, then I think like that's like good enough. Auth parse, basic auth from stir. Yeah. Like we can just keep them separate, I think. Not sure either. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Authorization. Did we change anything? Basic auth credentials into discard changes. All right. So let's add a quick file basic Auth Servers. Base 64. We need that. Then I think we can lift the specification from here. So we're just gonna get RFC this for basic auth. And we name this basic auth. Basic authentication. But that parse method could also come later if basic auth from start exists. Yeah, exactly. I don't see necessarily how it's too useful, but it doesn't matter really right now. Basic auth. Basic auth credentials into response auth apply authorization from headers scheme credentials. Basic auth. All right. We can't rename this. Oh wait, we might need to. Basic auth. There we go. Oh, we messed that up. Hold on, I saw a mistake we made. We still have if sets the header. Sets the header like there. Let's skip the header name. So credentials. Yeah. Internally, what we're just going to do is we're going to authentication, authorization. Use create auth. Authorization. That auth equals authorization new authentication scheme basic credentials like that. So from headers becomes very easy, where we say equals authentication authorization from headers. Headers, boom, boom. Unsure. If not matches auth dot. What do we call this? Protocol scheme. Authentication scheme basic. And then we say here is format error. Expected basic auth scheme set status 400 return error error. No method name scheme found for option authorization. Oh, we just do a match here. Some auth, none. Okay, none. Oh, and then we say return. Okay, none. There we go. Expected. Okay, to do. Then we want format error from here. Great. And then that works. What's Rihanna saying? I think we were thinking different directions. I was assuming a basic auth struct that only represents the credentials part and not the entire header. Yeah. I'm just flipping it around. Exactly. Just doing the whole header, because if you want basic auth, like all you truly want is you want to be able to just get, like, just parse it, be like, oh, I want basic auth, here it is. Right? The chance that you want to like go over it like several times is unlikely, I think. Even then still, we can probably do like something like from value for these. So if you truly want to do like a match, then different versions are supported, but we can expand from there. That's like a course thing where you're like, oh, depending on what the end user wanted to provide, we'll do some like multi resource matching. But yeah, we don't. Yeah, exactly. Like I truly just want to make it convenient to do like basic auth, where it's like, oh, you want to do basic auth? Well, here's like a thing you can just use and it'll work. You don't need to know about like base64 parsing and like how to use the crate correctly. It just does it for you. Yeah, exactly. So here we just say like expected basic auth scheme found. Come on. Backtick. Okay. That scheme equals auth scheme. There we go. And then we have that. Attempted to take value of method scheme on type. What's the error? Something about like ownership. To take value self.scheme method, not a field. Basic auth. Oh, self. Oh, okay, so yeah. Self.auth.scheme, self.auth. Something like that. I know. Oh, yeah. So this just works from headers. Then we have this. And then in order to parse it, we need to do the inverse of what we already had, which is change it from base64. Create a new instance from headers. Yeah. From headers, impl. Oh, damn. Okay, so for authorization is we need to be able to change it. So we say scheme credentials mute. Credentials mute. Or set credentials. Doesn't particularly matter. Let's do set credentials. Mute self. Credentials string. Credentials equals credentials. All right. And for good measure, let's do a set method here as well. Done. All right. Basic auth. Auth.scheme. And then we get the value and then we do a parse on it. The encode part's gotta be fun. Whew, I'm getting tired. We've been doing this for a minute. Right. Base64 encoder, right? So that's the parsing. So we want to have a decoder. Base64. We can close all of these. Decode. Returns a new VEC-U8. Decode config. Read and write. Decoder reader. To write raw bytes and have them be 64 encoded on the fly. Encoder writer. Okay. Decode config. Just decode. Yeah, we just want base64 standard, which I believe is what we also do here. Base64 standard. There we go. So we just use default. Yeah, great. Base64 decode, and then we pass this here, and we say auth.credentials, which are then parsed, and this returns a decode error. That's status 400 because we need that. Use great status. So now this returns that error with status code 400. If that doesn't work, it's good. And then we need to parse this into like a string. Bytes dot UTA parse UTF-8. From UTF-8, string from UTF-8. There we go. From UTF-8 bytes. I think this can even be like unchecked because we already like validate that the header needs to be valid ASCII, but maybe like post decoding it like is no longer true because it's base64 encoded. So it might be like something completely different. Which if we use unsafe there, then we might corrupt the memory. So from UTF-8, and then we say dot status 400. And this is credentials. Auth credentials. Set credentials. Credentials. Oh, we're missing question mark there. And then we return okay some auth. Oh. Like that. Great. All right, that worked. Auth.scheme. Oh, we can delete this. Self.auth.credentials. There we go. Can't borrow auth as mutable. Let mute auth. That works. This function takes one argument. Accurate. Go. That worked. No method named scheme found. Yes. credentials. All right. Unreachable pub item. Okay, so now we just do pub mod pub use basic auth unused variable scheme. Yep, true. Oh, actually, we can like even do like a base64 encode and like verify that that works. Let's just run the test for a sec. Okay, test failed because panicked, assertion failed, non-zero status code. Where libstud macro 16.9. What? Invalid UTF-8 sequence. Ooh. Interesting. Oh, yeah, like our encoding's broken. All right. Yeah, there we go. So when we instantiate credentials, we need to encode it. And in order to encode it, we need to do this. Love encoder. Oh, yeah, damn. It needs to be username and password. Oh, I forgot about that. Damn. So we need to have field username, which always exists, and password, which may exist. Okay, give me a sec. Getting some more water. I guess I didn't think of the way this should be looking, so I messed up. Je suis désolé. Let mode encoder, right encoder, auth value. Be basic. Oh no. Oh, so we need the base64 encode like the whole thing with the basic in there. Is that true? Okay. Basic base 64 encode. The code buzz. Base 64. No confidentiality protection. They are merely encoded with base 64 in transit, but not encrypted or hashed in any way, therefore using a conjunction with HTTPS. Where credentials is in the base 64 encoding of ID and password. Oh, damn. So my implementation is actually broken. Right? Nmuth auth value. Base 64 standard. Yeah, it is broken. And I have it from somewhere else just to like quickly have something, but that's like wrong. All we need to do is base 64 encode username and password. All right, that makes sense. So instead of credentials, we need to have username, password, option string, right? And then we base 64 encode this is match password, some pass, none, let credentials equals match password, like that. And then here we do is base 64 encode format username, password, and here we do base 64 encode. Actually, do we like even want that here? I don't think so. I don't think so yet. Actually, maybe it's not too bad. So getting like the value out is like not ideal. I'm not sure. Username, password. Yeah, you know what? It's fine. Username. Oh, that's missing a comma there. Okay, that works. Name equals Nori secret fish. Then we say username, some password. And then here, auth.credentials. We should not have a credentials method, but instead we should have username, username, password, to do. Get the username, get the password. UP, where you as ref stir p stir u p as ref. That became rather wild, but that's fine. All right, that works. Credentials not found. Okay. Username. Password. Wait. Some password. Okay, that works. Cool. Now I just need to implement it and make sure that this works, because if we test it, it won't. Very simple. Basic auth test, smoke, panicked. I'd not yet implement it. Serb, yup, MDN. Basic auth base 64. Auth name, user 2. Oh, what? Okay, we should check the RC real quick. Base 64, which means as user ID password pairs encoded with base 64. All right, so this says the username is test and the string is 123. So then it becomes test:123, and that becomes in base 64 becomes that. All right. Reusing credentials, internationalization considerations. Yeah, so we don't. All right, so we truly like just base 64 encode like the pair together, like we're doing here, which means that when we parse, we need to flip it around. Yes. Yes. That makes sense. Base 64. Expectation. That means we probably shouldn't like have sort of basic auth thing there. Instead, we should have like username, password, string, password, option, string, and just create like an instance where needed. Let credentials match password. Base 64 authorization authentication scheme. Username, password. New, yeah. And this is for the encoding. Option P. Let username equals username.asref.toOwned. Password dot map p there psref2owned, because we need to go into the option and then like map that into an own thing. Cool. Now we have that. So get the header value, which means the encoding goes into the value part. So the value function is where we do this. Match self.password. Authorization new scheme equals scheme credentials. So that becomes self dot auth value. Great. Okay. And this initializes that way. Self.username dot stir. Self.password dot map p Esther. That works. So from headers, so the parsing becomes interesting here, where I have a auth.scheme. We validate that the authentication scheme is correct. And then we do a base64 decode of auth credentials. Then we have the credentials. And then what we then do is we need to match on this. So what we do here is split n credentials. Is this to do split n 2 comma on colon iter that username equals iter.next password iter next match username password So we're just doing the inverse of what we already did. Some username, some password. Username, password. So username none, right? And then the final one equals none. And this becomes this thing here. Basic auth to contain a username. Okay, so what's the issue here? Missing match arm. Expected type, answer, some username, none. I am not too sure what is going on. Match arms have incompatible types. Stir of option. Oh yeah. Username, comma none is what needs to be. And that there. That username, password, match username, password, type annotations. Cargo C. What? We're missing still some stuff. Count inferior type for struct stir string. Basic auth 98. Okay, so that seems to be the error. Self.username. Because that is already a string, so we don't need to. Mismatched match arm. Some, none. None, some is not covered. Oh, sorry, I was not reading chat. This should be covered there. None, comma some is not covered. Oh, there we go. Now it should be. All right, good. Yeah. We don't care about the second value. Like either one is accurate. Oh, is this missing a comma at the end? No, it's missing that. Can't move out of self.password. Self-password as ref by 64 encode. Encode takes a clone? Is that what we do? Found enum aster. How do we do this again? Like that? No. .asref.map. Yeah, that's it. Oh my god. Unused variable username. Okay, self username password. Probably 2-string, right? And then okay. That. Found. Struct. Okay, so it needs to be okay of some. Like that. Expected. Stir. Yeah. Two-string. Variable does not need to be mutable. Yeah. I can't hate too much on deref though. Okay, I think we may have it now. Where we're like correctly encoding, parsing. Let's see. There's a good chance this will break. Or not. Okay. So we can correctly serialize and deserialize from and to like base64. Whew. Okay, we have basic auth. Yay. Alright, HP basic auth authentication. Let's run cargo doc. So an hour ago I was like, oh yeah, I'll log off in 30 because I'm hungry. I'm still hungry. Still haven't logged off. I'm sorry. Yay. Basic auth authentication. Basic authentication. Come on, cardoc. Yay. Come on. HTTP basic authentication. There we go. Okay, so we have a username with password. And we can get the username and the password. Oh, our example's broken though. Let's change that. Yeah, we can just copy this like that. And then we copy that there. Oh. Boom. Can I drag that? No, I can't. Boom. Okay. Basic authentication. Authn. Damn. Authorization. Basic authorization. So it is authorization. Damn. There we go. Secret fish. So basic auth stands for basic authorization, not basic authentication. I did not know that. Headers new. This needs to be response new. Res. Okay, there we go. And then that should work. We have basic auth. Do we have basic auth here? We do. Okay. T-doc auth. Let's run the tests. Let's see if this works. Oh my god. Okay, so that's not working. We missed something. Expected one argument. Oh, 200. Let's try again. Go to test doc. Oh, I guess you can't see like my face is in front of this. But yeah, we just tested. Okay, everything's passing. Look. All passed. All good. Nori just woke up and she wants attention. It's gonna be pretty intense. She might jump down in a sec. I think that means it's time for me to log off. Let's commit this and let's wrap this up. Actually, let me help her get down first. Naughty. Naughty. Come on. In case you're wondering how getting a cat down works, it's she climbs over my arm onto my shoulder, and then I act as a little elevator, like a little staircase to get her down. Yeah, it's not too painful. It's actually quite alright. Like, if I anticipate it, but sometimes she like tries and climb me like a tree, or she jumps down from somewhere on top of my head, and that's not great. All right. All right, we're just gonna run cargo doc 1 last time so we can see if this has worked. And it has. Yay, okay, great. I suggest we turn this into the canonical example for this whole module. And then run cargo doc 1 last time so we can take a look at the work we've done in the last 2.5 hours. Auth. Yay. And we have authentication. Yay. Hooray, everyone. Good job. Good job, us. Oh, that was kind of fun. Yeah. Okay. Authentication scheme. Mutual authentication algorithms. Yeah. I'm actually quite pleased with the result we got. You know, we have basic auth, basically. So someone can like do this and just always authenticate. Whew. Okay, let's commit this. Let's push it. Let's turn it into a PR. I need to go do some groceries because I'm starving. And the cats need their food. Okay. Add HP basic auth. Go into basic auth. Push origin. Let's make it a quick PR. Pushed 1 second ago. Yeah, good. Adds HP basic auth. Right. It's not too much code. How much do we have? We can see in a sec. It's HP. What did we add? We add 3 things. Add auth : we have the docs right here. Authorization basic auth authentication scheme. Authentication scheme basic auth. Adds HP basic auth related authentication structs for authentication. There's a specialization of authorization. But both are needed. Specialization. Because of schemes are rather elaborate, chosen to put them into 2 separate structs. Into separate structs. Thanks. Done. Okay, hitting that create pull request button. And we have it. We have a PR with 400 lines that we've written in 2 hours. Good job, everyone. Should we run cargo format just to check? Cargo format, cargo Clippy? Anything? Ooh. Clippy option as ref. Okay, so that can be done better. Self the password.dref. Oh, amazing. Dot as dref. That's a nice one. Oh. Well, let's push F. Okay, let's just amend our PR, push it up, and then now we have it. Now we know if you have an option of a string and you want to convert it to an option of a str, you can do dot as_dref. That's good. Cool. All right. This oh wait, hold on. We can be like really fancy and like take a screenshot. Boom, 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 boom. Of this, download. Screenshot. Where's the PR?